Hey everyone, this is the Next Archer, and this will be a first impressions video of my Zero Tolerance 550. I've actually had this knife for a day so far, and there's some things I've noticed about it that I'm glad I waited to do a first impressions video. First off, the Zero Tolerance pamphlet is in there. Shows how to open them and all that type of stuff. Okay. Comes in a bubble wrap container, and here's the knife. The first thing I noticed was that it is very hard to open. The fact is that if you push on this, you're pushing the detent into the blade, and it actually makes it impossible to open. Here's my thumb after opening it for 2 days, or well, for a day. Probably opened it about 100 times, and I've learned how to open it correctly. And now it opens pretty smoothly, as long as I don't push the frame lock against the blade. Okay. Has very nice G10 handles. I might actually get these replaced with the blue and black G10. Might see if I can get some custom scales for it. But I do want just flat G10, preferably 2 different colors, or just plain carbon fiber. Very nice blade, very good length for what I prefer, as I prefer the Paramilitary 2, or I use the Paramilitary 2 a lot. Find that right now. Okay. Here is the Paramilitary 2 next to it. Paramilitary 2 is much easier to open even with not pressing this down. And there's the size, thickness. There you go. Next to the Cold Steel Recon 1, which is easy to open compared to this detent. This knife, though, after you get over the detent, is very easy to open. Very smooth. It's just that initial pressure that you have to put on it. If you do a wrist snap, very easy to open, even if you're pressing down on the lock bar. This one is serialized, right there, and has a very nice pocket clip. The frame lock's really big, good lockup, and it has the hinderer. No jimping on the back, but does have some right there. So, locks in the hand pretty well. It's not going to go anywhere. So yeah, I like it. Has an oversized pivot area. That hinderer thing, though, I'm also going to customize that by putting the primer area of a bullet on there, by drawing it in the center and drawing the bullet in the center, then taking the hinderer off and putting the bullet on, which would look pretty neat. And then with custom scales. The more you use this, it will really wear out your thumb. So, just be careful of that. Also, I noticed when my hands were a little wet, that you cannot disengage that lock at all. You really have to push your finger onto it and then over, and then you can close it, but you won't be able to close it when it is wet. You can do like the Spyderco flick, but then you really have to flick your wrist. This knife is it's great if you're going to open it left-handed, because you push it away from the detent, and it's not hard to disengage that frame lock either. So it would be a great knife for left-handed people, and just takes getting some used to if you're right-handed. That's my first impressions, a little review of it, I guess. And, yeah. So, I'll have a review coming out of it after I test it out and everything. So far, it's razor sharp. I'll show that. Show that before I turn the video off. And that's out of the box sharp. So that's, I think, yeah, that was the first time I've actually cut anything with this knife. So, great knife. Makes me want to look at some of the other zero tolerance knives, because this is a very nice quality knife. I can't find anything wrong with it, except for how hard it is to open. But that is normal. See you guys later. Bye.